of boys in their little muscle shirts.
Men are not meant to be dominant. Men are meant to be submissive.
Life's too short to exercise. I'm just going to be honest. There are so many better things to do than exercise.
It's about when you do that and there's like muscles there. Nobody cares about that.
It hurts me to see how corrupted you are.
And can cry. So it's okay to be weak.
It is okay to be fat.
You work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fatphobic.
Sick.
I've told you what my drill instructors and I will do. From you, we demand the following. You will give 100% of yourselves at all times. Obey all orders quickly, willingly, and without question. Treat all Marines and recruits with courtesy and respect. You will not physically abuse or verbally threaten any Marine or recruit. Be completely honest in everything that you do. A Marine never lies, cheats, or compromises. Respect the rights and properties of others. A Marine never steals. You must work hard to strengthen your body. Be proud of yourself and the uniform you wear. Above all else, never quit or give up. For we, or for you, the challenge of recruit training. The opportunity to earn the title, United States Marine. Now ears! Open, sir! Ears! Open, sir! Eyeballs! Good, sir! When I tell you to, and only when I tell you to, you will stand up and shake out your legs. Do you understand? Yes, sir! This time, stand up and shake out your legs. Yes, sir! This time, stand up and shake out your legs. Yes, sir!
My friends, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, where here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. I felt it necessary to play those two clips before the beginning of the show today. I think it's very sad when I look around the world today and I notice, almost without fail, with very rare exception, that there are men out in these streets, they exist in the world, don't get me wrong. But I've noticed, especially within my generation, they're harder and harder to find. Men that are tough, strong, and above all else, they do not give up. They don't give up. They continue to push, they continue to fight, and they have will left in them. I played especially that speech given by the Marine drill instructor, because when I was in the military, obviously I was not in the Marines, I was in the Air Force. But I got an Air Force version of exactly what Sergeant May gave to his recruits. And you can tell, listening to him, he's been in their place, he knows what it's like, and he genuinely cares. Now, for those of you who've never been through military training, I wouldn't expect you to understand this. But they break you to rebuild you. And I look at society today, and I think we're on the fast track to becoming broken. I think we're on the fast track to being disassembled and rebuilt. In the image of what? I'm not sure. I hope it would be stronger. I hope we don't even have to go that far. But the more I look around and the more I see weakness disguised as strength, the more they're redefining everything imaginable in culture today. That first clip that we played about how men are this, and it's okay to be overweight, it's okay to be this, and it's okay to be this and that. No, it's not okay. Should you do something to harm yourself? No, absolutely not. What you should do is you should strive to be better. I've heard people talk about this concept of monk mode. The more I learn about monk mode, the more I realize that it's a good idea, but it's flawed. That's why today I'm defining a term, Marine mode, because you look at the Marines. The Marines go for this concept of balance, discipline, and respect. It's not easy to go from one extreme to another extreme of being kind of a lazy river drifting individual, going from drifting to suddenly being completely on the opposite side of the spectrum. That alone is hard, but one aspect I don't really hear anybody talking about is I went into monk mode, and arguably I still am. But when it comes down to it, you don't want to live in a world of extremes. I am firmly against the concept of living in a world of extremes. Because when you live in extremes, balance becomes almost impossible to ever define or find, even if you can define it ever again. Balance is a world you should be trying to live in because that is where you will achieve inner peace. Now, I'm not a Buddhist, but I do understand this concept of self-understanding and self-mastery, and I don't think it's discussed enough. It's a spiritual, physical, and mental concept. I think it's something that people need to focus more on. The semen retention, huge exercise and self-control for men. Not consuming too much alcohol, not consuming any drugs, not consuming pornography, none of these vices that feed upon you as the more you indulge in them. If you can't go a day, a week, a month without doing these things, you have a problem. You have a problem. You cannot control yourself. If you can't control yourself, forget about it. You're on the fast track to nowhere. I know it's easy to get on here and clickbait you into thinking this, that, and the other thing. I genuinely want you to drive this concept home. If you want to succeed in your life, if you want to be, quote, alpha, if you want to be someone worthy of respect, you must, A, respect yourself to actually invest time in understanding yourself. You must dedicate time, meditation, and you must put hard work into yourself. Because if you don't do that, no one will respect you. You can't lead yourself to do the most minimal things, then no one's going to follow you. And they shouldn't. If you want to be a leader, you lead yourself first and people will follow you. They will follow your example that you exude every single day in the things you do. My friends, if you don't love yourself, and I don't mean, you could take that in a narcissistic way if you want. I don't, most people don't even know who Narcissus was. He was based off a Greek myth. Most people don't even know who he was. He was somebody who was in love with himself. There's a difference between loving yourself and having I don't know about self-esteem, but just caring about yourself for God's sakes versus being obsessed with yourself. There's a difference. If you can't take yourself to the gym, if you can't you can't put aside your pride to go to the spa and get a massage or get a facial for goodness sake. If you can't do stuff for yourself, you can't get your nails done as a man. If you can't go out there and invest in yourself and take care of yourself, then you hate yourself on the inside. And don't you lie to me. You hate yourself. And I don't want to hear anything different because it's the truth. You're punishing yourself for a past sin. You're punishing yourself because you don't think you're worthy. You're punishing yourself because of something someone else told you that you internalized. You've allowed yourself to get to this point, and I don't want you to be there. I've been in those places. I've been in the dark recesses of the mind, of my own mind, and I don't want you to be there. And if you're there right now, there is hope. There is a way for you to get out. But you have to free yourself and break your own chains, because no one else can do it for you. And if they try, you will resent them for it. Yeah, you heard me right. You will resent them for it. Because you will still be stuck right here in your head. That's where you'll still be stuck. My friends, this concept of marine mode is a balanced perspective. Picture a scale where one side is an equal weight to the other. That is what you need in your life, the good and the bad, because you cannot ever get rid of both. Just as you will always have a shadow, you can never fully get rid of the darkness. I'm not saying let it rule you. Don't misinterpret me. I am saying you need to integrate your shadow and understand it so that then you can control it. You can put it to work for you instead of always fighting yourself. Because if you don't do that, you will fight a war on two fronts. One against the world and one against the enemy within. You must want to succeed as much as you want to breathe. Then you will be successful. Then you will be ready to go to the next level. What is the next level? Oh, don't worry. I'll talk about that another time. Because right now, you need to focus on level 1. Getting yourself up. I loved that speech by Sergeant May. I felt back in basic when I was listening to that. I felt back at home. It reminded me of the days when I was like, this. It brought back memories. Not all of them good, necessarily. But they were memories that changed me as a man. It changed me as a human being. It drove concepts into me that I exude to this day. It changed my life. And I want it to change your life. Now, if you want to do that by joining the military, go right ahead. They're suffering for recruits. But you don't have to do it that way. You could do it by taking accountability and responsibility for where you are right now in your life. Because if you can't start there, you are in really big trouble. I don't care if you think every part of it has nothing to do with you and it just happened to you. I don't care about that. What I care about is you taking responsibility for how you got to where you are in your life right now, today, as you are listening to this show. Whether you're driving in a car, whether it's you're in your cubicle at work listening to me, whether it's you're watching it with your girlfriend, whatever it is you're doing. You need to really accept accountability for the bad and the good in your life. And once you start there, you can go on to the next step, which is changing it, making it and molding it into what you want it to be. I have to give respect to the Marine Corps. They're the hardest out of all of us. And by us, I mean I'm both veterans and active duty. They're the strongest. All the jokes and everything aside, which I could go on a whole half-hour show about. But my friends, you need to have this desire to conquer yourself. Master yourself. Not running away from your problems. That is what alcohol does. That is what marijuana does. That is what excessive consumption of entertainment does. All those things are an escape from yourself. Because you can't handle being alone with yourself. You can't handle sitting in a room without sound by yourself, can you? How long do you think you could sit in a room by yourself? No sound, no music, no podcasts, no TV, nothing. How long do you think you could go in there without going insane? I could do it for a long time. I love my own company. If you can't do it, you gotta start learning to be with yourself, love yourself a little bit, instead of hating yourself and masking it in any way that you can. Because then you wonder why your life isn't going the way you want when you're fighting yourself and inhibiting yourself every step of the way. Don't do it. Fix it. How? Well, that's a question only you can answer. If you want me to give you my opinion, you're welcome to hit me up on Twitter at SheepGetSheared, or you can leave in the comment of this video if you're all watching on YouTube or Rumble. We could have a conversation if that is what you desire. I'll see if I can help. I'm not a professional, but I will do my best. My friends, I genuinely want you to change your life for the better, because there's not enough. There is not enough tough, strong, masculine men in the world today, especially not in the West. They're getting older and they're dying off. The younger men are becoming weaker, and more submissive, and it's disgusting to me, and I can't take it anymore. And I'm not alone. And it's time you stepped up, not stepped out of the way. Have some self-respect. Brace yourself like a man and embrace adversity. Embrace yourself. Stop running away. Because then your father and your grandfather will be proud of the man you've become. Your friends will respect you. Your significant other, women, will respect you. My friends, I want the best for you. And I say this, I want this tough love to get through to you. I'm not trying to talk down to you. I'm trying to get through that tough exterior the way that my MTI did for me. You need to be able to do that. If I need to yell, I will. I don't want to do it. I think it works against it, but it's my natural default, which is another thing I picked up in the military. But my friends, remember this. You need to embrace Marine mode. You need to find balance. You need to accept accountability. And above everything else, learn to love the person you are and become better. Embrace who you are and strive to be better. My friends, God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless America. We're out of here. Have a great day. Be better than you are yesterday. Peace.